project is coming along. There's still a lot of things we want to do to it. In the meantime, there is another thing I'd like to address, and that is the seat. Oh, here we have a plain, boring old Honda seat, and we're gonna upgrade it with a seat concept seat. Typically, most people like to change these out because they want a more comfortable seat. Way too slick, not a fan of that. It sits too low. This red never really holds up in my opinion. It's already got several smudges on it that I cannot get to come out. And our seat concepts kit will fix all of that. And it's not just a one size fits all. If you go check out Seat Concepts, you'll see they've got a lot of options. It's probably the best seat option available outside of just going somewhere and getting a fully custom one made, which is gonna cost you considerably more. With the Seat Concepts ones, you have all these cool options, as well as the ability of saving a few bucks and reupholstering your stock seat pan yourself. I reached out to Seat Concepts and told them I would love to put one of their seats on our 300 project bike. They were happy to send me one. We're gonna do it the way most people do these seat kits, is that we're gonna be putting it on ourselves. I've never done anything like that, but I've watched a few videos. I've even bought a few tools. I think we can handle it. Let's look at what we got. So I went through the options and decided to go with the taller seat. I did see some notes on their site that said don't do that if you're trying to get a more comfortable seat, like getting more padding. That's not what they're trying to do there. I went with the taller seat because I feel like I sit a little too low in the bike. And you can see here, this actually gets a bit wider as it goes to the back, a little more than the stock one. I think there's even an option to go with like a super wide rear, but you have to get a full complete seat for that. We've gone with the gripper top on it and this carbon sides they call it. The other thing I did pick up was an air stapling gun from Harbor Freight, and that's what we got. I paid like 30 something bucks for this thing. This is kind of an odd size. They said to go with a 20 gauge. That's a bit smaller. I think it's because they want you to have little smaller staples for making the tight turns. I've gone with some galvanized staples. They had to go with stainless steel. I cannot find stainless steel staples in this size. Even looking online, I drove all around. So we've got galvanized. Hopefully we don't regret that. They say to take this cover and go sit it in the sun so it can get a little malleable. Unfortunately, there is no sun right now, so I've got another idea. I wrapped it up in a blanket and put a heating pad under it. I think the idea is that it gets a little more stretchy. Let's pop this seat off. You can see right where that strap went across it. This bike lives inside a garage, has less than 1,000 miles on it. Look how dark this red has already gotten. Now we just need to remove all these staples. I think there's actually a tool you can get for this, but I think what I've seen a lot of people say to do is just kind of pry them up a bit with a flathead, and then you can remove them the rest of the way with a pair of needle nose. Well, that's actually working pretty good. Oh no! Well, we're committed now, aren't we? Yep, no reason to be gentle at that point. The directions now say I'm supposed to go around the whole thing, remove any sharp edges. The main thing I feel along this is everywhere where a staple went through, it's a little sharp. So just to sand that down, I'm gonna try to use one of these little cheap vibrating sanders and see if I can make that happen. It's all nice and smooth in here now. So let's throw some contact cleaner on here to get rid of the rest of the glue. The next step would be to glue the new pad onto the pan here. But before we do that, I had an idea. What we need to do is drive our staples into the plastic here. We need enough oomph to push them through the plastic, but not enough oomph that we just blow through our cover. So let's dial that in with the old cover that I don't care about. So right now I've got it basically in the middle. My regulator is set over there at 90. Let's go a little higher and see what happens. Let's turn it down a little and see what happens. Right in the middle was actually pretty good. So I got that set now. Directions now say that we need to put adhesive on both of these, then stick them together. This is some 3M general purpose. We need to spray this on, and I think according to this, we give it about 30 seconds for each side to get a little tacky. Stick them together. It's like 15 minutes, it should be dry. All right, who's counting? Someone tell me when it's been time. They should both be tacky now. One of the videos I saw, the guy did it like this. Hang this one off. That's got to get into there, and this has got to flap around here. So before it sticks too much, oh goodness, this is tricky. Gotta line that up. Those edges kind of come over like that, and the rest of this, mash down on it, make sure it's making good contact. Here, I think I've done that correct. They give you like a plastic bag thing. You're supposed to put this between the cover and the foam if you think you're gonna ride in wet environments. Whether you thought you were or you thought you weren't, why not just put it on there, right? Like that's not gonna hurt anything. I'm gonna go grab the cover. It should be getting nice and toasty by now. Nice and warm. Feels about like it should have been sitting outside. I think we're just gonna kind of roughly slip it on here. They always seem to start with the nose here. They just said you gotta get it real straight left to right good. So then they said to come down here to the rear and put one in the rear, one or two back here to kind of hold it down. It seemed like a lot of people from here kind of went to this crease on one side or the other. And I think they said you had to pull it back in like kind of in this direction. Okay, yeah, that's looking like something when I pull it tight like that. We'll just give your fingers a workout. You do this a whole lot. The way these staples have got to go in, there's like a valley in a lot of this. There's no way I would have been able to do this without the pneumatic air stapler. We got to make sure we're staying centered on here as we pull this guy in. At least for this first half, I have this stitching line, and if I'm making that pretty uniform going down, then I feel like I'm doing something right. Looking up how to do this, the idea of having to pull some of these staples back out really bothered me. I was like, no, because then it's gonna have like extra holes in the cover. I mean, I've had to do it a few times now. Don't worry about it if you gotta do that. Don't think it's gonna hurt anything. Oh yeah, that was better right there. That was smart to pull that one because that's got that much more taunt right there. That's what we needed. I haven't really pulled on it super hard anywhere, to be honest with you. But right here, I find on this corner, if I give this a good tug, it's fixing some stuff going on right here. Yeah, I'm Bob Ross. So I've basically gone from both sides down to just about past this crease. I still only have the one staple here in the back, and I would not be half surprised if by the time I get back there, I gotta pop that out and we gotta tuck it a little harder. Looks like we're still pretty even. I was hoping this lumpiness on the back would kind of like work itself out somehow, but I don't see any way to get rid of that. There's no like pulling on this, like it's gonna get rid of that. That's just like, I'm gonna pull this staple back here and see what I can make happen. There's no like, I can't like make that go away. If I yank the hell out of it, what happens? But I just feel like that makes wrinkles on the side. As you can see, for the most part, we're looking pretty good here. The only place I'm just kind of making myself a little mental is this part right here across the back. Maybe this will like, you know, with heat and a little bit, it relaxes a little bit. Maybe this wrinkle won't look quite so bad. So I guess at this point, I'm just gonna go there and fill in some of these gaps. Got a very, very sharp razor, and all I need to do now is basically trim off the extra material. I'm filming right now, don't say anything crazy.
Oh dear. All I really want.
All right, decent enough. And there we go, we have a seat. Come out here to the lake. Excuse me if I sound a bit muffled. I'm wearing a thing. It's a little chilly out here. I'm gonna talk about the installation, but before that, let's actually give a little review on the seat itself. Let me tell you some things I dislike about it. Number one thing I dislike about this seat is the fit and finish. When I say that, 90% of this, 95% of this looks good. I mean, like the stitching lines all line up. It looks pretty square until you get to right here. It's a little lumpy and there's a little bit of wrinkly in it. Yeah, I wish this wasn't there. I wish this was more like, you know, like that. The seat concepts just put a little too much fabric back here. Or is it maybe that the guy installing it has never done this before and, you know, who knows, right? Otherwise, that's like not that big a deal. Like it's pretty good. My second complaint is sort of just the overall looks of it. So here's the thing, you got the stock seats. It has that like really nice body line where it kind of follows this shape. You know, it comes down, follows it nice and clean. And obviously we don't really have that anymore. We kind of have this like seat up on top. You know, I was saying that to my brother, Ian, and he kind of, you know, threw a little sense to my head there. He's like, well, Jake, he's like, one, why do dirt bike seats suck? Because they're dirt bike seats. Yeah, they look cool, but they're not the nicest thing to sit on. And then he said, secondly, you gotta remember, you've got a comfort seat. It's gonna be wider. I wanted a tall comfort seat. That's how it's gonna look. That's the nature of having a better seat. Now, those are basically my complaints with this seat. That's pretty much it. The rest of the things I gotta tell you are all pretty positive. I think it does look really good. This gripper top, this carbon sides, it looks good. I think it was a little more striking with that red seat, but as we've shown, that red seat was not going to hold up. They just don't look good. Seat Concepts, I think, does have, it's like an option to make these sides red. I think black's the way to go because it doesn't really quite match. It's like a duller red, but a seat's not for looking at, it's for sitting on. So let's jump on the bike. Let's go ride it around and actually see what we think of it. On we go. Can I make it back up this? Can I do it? Oh, the grip! You can't go off-roading with street tires. You certainly can. Look at the old Bronco too there. You're on the road, you've just got your new Seat Concept seat. What's the first thing you're gonna notice if you got a tall one like I did? Biggest thing I notice is I'm actually up on top of the bike. This is what I like. I don't like being down in the bike, at least for like dirt bikes and stuff, supermoto bikes. And this just changes like the whole sort of geometry, how I feel sitting on the bike, and I like it. I'm even maybe considering raising this bar now, just like a set of small risers. So my hand just a pinch higher might be kind of nice. Not only is the seat taller, but if you notice, it's just not like, hey horse, it's not like just squishing under my body weight, where the last seat kind of compressed a lot. Look, okay, I've got 2 children. I'm allowed to have a bit of a dad bod, right? But I don't think I'm that heavy. I'm like 185, 190 these days. I don't think I'm like heavy enough I should be like squishing the seat down. Well, I mean, if the seat's built anything like the suspension, I guess I should expect that a little bit, right? Anyways, sitting up taller is good. If you have one of these bikes and you feel like you're sitting inside of it, tall seat from Seat Concepts is like, that's going to be it. I think the next big thing you notice is, well, I guess, the comfort of the seat, you know? And I'm not talking about just like, ooh, it's got a squishier pad on it. I'd actually say it's less squishy than the stock seat. I think the stock seat is soft, maybe perhaps too soft, as we were saying before. Not to say that this is hard, this is just, it's right, it feels good. But of course, we've got this big old platform back here, right? So you can ride up here and look, you're in like your like elbows out, kick, throw your foot out, that whole mode, right? But yeah, once you scoot back to this part, it's like very nice. Also, I noticed that when you stand up, it's not like the wide section. The wide section is like way back here. Like, if you're pulling back, that's actually kind of nice that you can grip if you're for some reason in that position, but it's not like it's going to interfere with like dirt bikey things, you know? These guys do a lot of dirt bike stuff. What else can we say about this seat though? Well, it's got that gripper top on it, so like, you know, if you're, you know, like, pretty glued in place when doing that. All in all, this is a really great upgrade. Well, let's real quick talk about the installation of this seat. What do I think it was like, having never done it before? I wouldn't say it's hard, but I wouldn't say it's easy. It's somewhere in the middle. It's time consuming. It's gonna take a little bit of work, and you may not get it perfect. Oh, why did Honda put the horn there? But here's something to consider with the installation. The foam in the cover is 180 bucks before shipping and taxes, blah, blah, blah. $180, okay? To get a complete seat is $285, so you're talking $105 more to have a complete seat, and you'd have 2 at that point. You'd have your stock one and your second one. You know, it's a bit more, yes, but consider, I had an air compressor, but I still had to go out and buy that staple gun, and you do need that staple gun. I went and bought the cheap one from Harbor Freight. Nothing against it, like it worked perfectly fine. By the time I bought that and some staples, I'm like right about 50 bucks in. Now you're talking like $55 more gets me a professionally installed seat cover without the little, you know, screw-ups I got. And if you don't have a compressor, maybe you can go get one of those pancake ones and just make it like hit even. You could even say, hey, that's the excuse I need to get these tools. I get that. We do that sometimes. We play that game. But you see what I'm saying? You got to consider these things. What do you have? What are you going to need to get to install the seat? Do you still think it's worth it? And there's a third option. This might be the Goldilocks option here. You buy your seat cover and your foam, $180. For an additional $25, they will install it for you. Now you have to take your seat off, rip the foam cover off. That's easy, caveman work, seriously. Put it in a box and you mail it to them. Now, let's say that costs you like 20 bucks, right? You're like, what, $225 or something like that? That is a pretty good, like, middle ground option. You won't have 2 seats, but you're gonna have a professionally installed seat. You don't gotta buy the tools. You don't gotta worry about the headache of getting a little wrinkle in it or something like that. That's a pretty good option right there. I think if it was to do it again, I'd probably go that route. Thank you, Seat Concepts, because I didn't have to
do any of these options, and they were actually willing to send me a full complete seat, but I wanted to do it this way so we could see the process. Sometimes I'm coming to you as like a professional who knows what he's doing, and sometimes I'm coming at you saying, hey, I've never done this, let's see what it's about. I'm not going to sit there and speak to some authority like I know what I'm doing with this, but I did my best. I tried to watch some videos, and I think it turned out pretty good. If you're on Patreon and you just seen this video go up, you go over to the Discord, jump in there and say what's up. I'm in there like nearly every night, and I'll jump in randomly during the day too for some of y'all European guys. I just go into, there's a voice chat in there. We're always just blah 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 to each other. It's a good time. You should get in there if you're not a part of it. If you want to be a part of that, you're not a Patreon. It's only $1 a month to join it. You get a longer version of this video. Came out earlier and it's ad-free, censor-free, and yeah, you know, and it's a way to keep this channel doing what it does. You know, the old YouTube algorithms is not you know, always in the favor of your boy. I think I was too much of a hooligan back in the day. I think there's some visibility issues and there's definitely some monetization. So, you know, if it wasn't for the Patreon, I wouldn't be doing this. So consider it, if you will. Get off this way. That's what you do sometimes when you've had a knee surgery. Jake, you know you get off your bike the wrong way? Do I? Maybe I don't like pivoting on the knee. I had an ACL surgery on. What do you know? There it is. Right. Liking this bike more and more with each mod. It is very nice. Look at the old pond back here. I put any fish in it. Should I come find out? See y'all in the next video.